taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you.
Hello and welcome back to an Angry Canadian Reacts video. Once again, we're reacting to... my mouse isn't working very well today. A Brit. Reacting to How to Tell Americans and Canadians Apart. It's a fairly new video, so I want to get into it soon. Let's go. I said, let's go.
And Canadians apart. Me being from the UK, I've always seemed like Canadians, Americans were very, very, very similar. So
No.
I'm very excited to get into this and see exactly how exactly do you tell them apart. And just see what we got in this video before we do get into it. Appreciate if you guys can subscribe button. Yeah, let's see what we got.
Hello. I need to admit something to you that I don't think I've ever said publicly.
What's that?
Back when I lived in Britain, I used to think that Americans and Canadians all sounded the same.
Right.
But let
No.
me tell you, now that I live in Chicago, I've met my fair share of Canadians, even though some of them turned out to be from Minnesota.
Okay.
And they don't entirely sound like Americans. Because while it is true that there's a lot of crossover between American and Canadian English,
Yeah.
subtle differences do exist in vocabulary, spelling, and pronunciation. For
Right.
instance, because
The one thing that I do know a big difference is Canadians will say sorry. And Americans, well, Americans I hear are very, 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 very friendly. So maybe Americans say sorry a lot too. But
Well, no, they say,
Canadians,
"Excuse
apparently
me."
They say like every sentence or something.
Canada wasn't included in the American spelling reform of the 1820s. Many of their words follow British spelling. Stay tuned
Right.
until the end to
Oh,
find
do
out
they?
which ones. In the meantime,
Okay, interesting.
so a few years ago, my wife and I were watching the Netflix series Anne with an E, which is set in Canada. And
Right.
all the way through it, the main character keeps saying the word sorry, but she pronounced it in a way that I've never heard. And I've been alive for
Is it like sorry? Sorry, maybe?
40
Or is that British? I don't
it's for a few years. How did she say it?
I am so extremely sorry.
Sorry, and at
Sorry.
first I thought it was this actress being weird, and then I heard it from a Canadian YouTuber, and then another
sorry.
Canadian YouTuber, and another one, until I put two and two together and realised, no, this is just how a lot of Canadians say the word sorry. Now, I mentioned earlier that
Interesting.
Canada did take on many British spellings, stay tuned for that, but what about pronunciations?
Oh, love it to do, Lawrence. Nice hair.
You may remember a few years ago when I told you Americans pronounce the word lieutenant as lieutenant, whereas
Okay.
British people say lieutenant. Well,
Right. I don't know what British people is saying lieutenant, because I've never heard it said that way. But apparently that's actually a thing.
Yes.
Maybe it's only because I hear the word lieutenant in American films and stuff
All
like
the
that. So
time.
in my head, it's just lieutenant. I don't know if I've ever had a conversation with a British person where they've actually said lieutenant. But yeah, lieutenant sounds... Why do we say lieutenant?
I
After
don't-
looking it up, I discovered today that the Canadian military favours the British way. And also, a few
really?
years ago, I professed my love for Americans that pronounce the word bag as baig. And honestly,
Okay, first of all, yeah, to that last point, I just want to go back there. Lieutenant. I like the American pronunciation, or lieutenant, but it doesn't fit with the spelling. It's spelled lieutenant. I wish they would show a spelling of it, and I wish my mouse would work properly. It's not the battery, it's the interface. Okay, so let's get going again.
favours the British way. And also, a few
really?
years ago, I professed my love for Americans that pronounce the word bag as baig. And honestly, it was a big
Baig.
mistake. I should
Can I get
never
my
have done
baig?
this because I've since received 7 marriage proposals. But while in American terms that is a niche way of saying the word bag, in Canada this
Right.
apparently is a more widespread way of saying it, making Canadians 17% sexier. But it's not
Oh, what?
Cool.
So you're like, oh, can you pass me the bag?
just the way Canadians speak,
Interesting.
it's sometimes the words they use.
What words?
And as is often the case when you're talking about the vocabulary of two different countries, this usually involves hats. Just as Brits and Americans can't agree on what to call the hat worn by Charlie Chaplin, a bowler hat. It's definitely a derby hat. Canadians, surprise, surprise, have their own word for a specific type of winter hat that's known in the United States as a beanie, and in Britain as...
Wait, yeah, beanie.
It's not a beanie.
What else would you call a beanie?
as a woolly hat or beanie.
Oh yeah, woolly hat. Yeah, woolly hat beanie.
Sometimes. What do
A
Canadians call it? A toque. That's not how you say it.
What's
It's
a toque?
pronounced toque. Well, since
Toque.
Chicago has Canada light weather, I often find myself wearing a toque. So solidarity with my neighbour.
I've never heard of that before. You know what? Very useful, because if a Canadian ever comes up to me and says, "Hey, I like your toque," I'll be thinking, well, now I know. Now I know.
Neighbours to the north. And apparently, Canadians have renamed the entire wardrobe because they add to what is already a heated debate in North America. Famously, Americans are split on whether to call these sneakers tennis shoes or what's the other one? Gym shoes. Well,
Right, so nothing what the Brits call them. We call them trainers.
some Canadians refer to these as runners. And why not have a
Runners.
party in which we invite my country too?
You know, it's all kind of like train words though. Other than that, sneakers, I don't know where sneakers came from, but like gym shoes, running shoes, train.
Okay, I admit I refer to them as sneakers. I don't know why, I just call them sneakers. It's what I've always called them. It's the only word I've heard used for them. I used to sell shoes, so sneakers, that's what they are.
Right?
Used to call these trainers.
Runners.
So most of us can't even agree on what to call our footwear. Never
No.
mind
Trainer is a
which
type of
shoes to wear.
sneaker.
Confused.
Don't mind me. I was just reading through some of my notes in my exercise book. An exercise book is the name that we give in British schools to a notepad. This
Yeah.
kind of notepad, to be specific. And, you know, while Americans don't typically refer to this as an exercise book, they
Do we? This is another one. Maybe I'm more American than British, but like, do we call it an exercise book?
do either call it a notebook, a notepad,
I just call it a notebook.
or a writing pad. Well, my Canadian friends north of here have, I think, the best
Scribbler.
name for this. And that word, and I think I'm going to start using this from this day forward, is scribbler. It just
It's a
has some
scribbler.
feeling behind it, and I think we need more of that in the...
To be fair though, if you said that you're gonna hand me a scribbler, I'm gonna think you're an artist and you want me to do some drawings, right? Because a notepad is like, it's got like lines you write on.
So does
not
a scribbler.
draw. Scribbler sounds more like you're drawing.
world. A few weeks ago, I did a video about how British and American toilets are very different. And in that video, I told you that
Right.
we also use different words to describe bits of the toilet. For instance, when we in Britain refer to public toilets, we might call them the ladies or the gents,
Yeah.
the loos, or the public toilets.
Yeah.
In America, it's usually restroom. And in Canada, some
Washroom.
people might use a word that used to apparently be
To be fair, it is very weird that we call them toilets. We even call them toilets, even if it's got a bathroom, like a bath in it as well. We're
We
like,
call it a
"Oh,
washroom."
it's there," right? Because it's just got a toilet in there. But restroom sounds so much more like what it is, because you have you could wash yourself there on the sink. You got like the baby section as well. You want to change your babies. It's not just a toilet, right?
popular in the United States.
And then again, in America, I'm not surprised they don't call them toilets, because America, I've seen some American bathrooms, restrooms, where they're massive. You probably got food stuck. No, that'd be disgusting. But you know what I'm saying.
And that word is washroom. Something
Washroom,
pretty major,
right.
I think, that separates Canadian English from American English is how it pronounces the last letter of the alphabet.
Yes.
Speak to most Canadians and
Z.
they'll tell you that they are unified with the British on this one. Z.
Zed.
My favourite
Right.
Canadianism is a word for something that none of us can agree on. That thing that British people call a multi-storey car park and that Americans call a parking garage.
Parking
Canadians,
garage.
primarily in the west of the country, call this a parkade. A portmanteau
Parkade.
of parking and arcade.
Okay, I get it. It sounds like, you know, there's a load of cars having a party.
Another thing that all
Okay.
three countries have a different word for is the big building where you keep fire engines. Growing up in Britain, this
A
was
fire
known to me
station?
as a fire station.
Yeah.
But moving to Chicago, I realised, oh, you can be fancy and call it a firehouse. Very cosy. Well, Canadians apparently
firehouse.
add a communal element to this by calling it a fire hall. I'm just picturing Canadian firefighters sitting around in
Yeah.
luxury listening to Brahms.
Go down to the hall.
Come on, England! Oh, is Steve
Yeah.
there? During past World Cups, football chats with Steve would frequently put me in debt. so I decided to do something about it.
Oh, can we just take a moment to say that, like, this World Cup is by far the best World Cup we've ever seen, and it's hosted in Canada and America and Mexico. All of you are doing a great job. All of North America, man.
I joined Mint Mobile.
Thank you.
See Mint Mobile for details. And now, as promised, we've reached that time in the video that you've all been waiting for.
What time?
I, Lawrence Brown, am going to be given a list of words, and I've got to guess whether they are spelled the British way or the American way.
Right.
In Canada. Defense. So that.
Oh God, this would be hard for me. Oh my.
This is hard for me.
Defense with an S is American, with a C is British.
That's a word where in Britain we usually spell that with a C, and in America it's with an S. I think this is another example of how the 1820s changed all this for American English. Probably didn't for Canadian English. I bet Canadians spell it the British way. There you go. This is easy. So,
you know what's very
Yes
interesting?
and no.
Canada has so many more similarities with the UK, but it's a lot closer to America, like literally next door.
so far, travelling, which I suppose has two.
Okay, so yeah, 2 L's. But yeah, there's words are hard.
Traveling, the one with the 1 L looks weird to me, so I'm gonna say we spell it 2 L's.
Spells in British English and only
Yeah.
one usually in American English. I'm not entirely sure.
Autocorrect.
This one. Canadians probably go with the Americans on this. Oh, okay. Wow. Aluminum.
British
this
as
is
well.
an interesting one because
Aluminium. You guys say aluminum.
Well, yes,
Aluminium.
without that extra
I don't
I.
even know how to spell this word anyway, and I can't even spell. Oh, there's another I. Aluminium. Aluminum. Aluminium. Okay, so the second one is
the
out.
story of how aluminum came
Yes,
about
it is.
is something that I've talked about before.
We use
I
both.
suspect Canadians tend to go for aluminum.
Yes.
Hey, colour.
Okay.
So the version without a U.
Okay, so there's no point me guessing no more, because now from the 4 tries, I know that the British ones is always the second one. So I'm not gonna fail any of these.
I think goes back to American spelling reform. So once again.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. See, I use autocorrect, and autocorrect, for me, it goes to COLOR. But here in Canada, following the British way, we actually spell it COLOUR. I can't wait to see center. Center's an interesting word.
Again, I think Canadians probably, for the most part, retain the British spelling here. Keep
Right.
the U in. That's correct. Centre. This is a similar.
Here we
word
are.
in words ending in the R.
See, this is where I never understand the UK with the words like centre. Because, like, we spell centre like centre. Centre.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, surely centre? Wait, I spell it American way. I just spell it CENTER.
And so do I. But it is CENTERE in Canada. Or the other way. CENTRE is also spell centre, which is French for center. Very weird.
Suffix were by and large changed to an ER spelling here in the US, but Canadians are unlikely to have made that change, especially since they are also influenced quite heavily by French. This is an interesting
Oh, yeah, okay, so it's a French word then, interesting.
one that I've also done a YouTube short about. Curb, as in that part of the side of the road.
No way we spell curb with a K. Curb is always C. No?
It's a
CURB.
word that I grew up spelling KERB. However,
Do we spell it with a curb, like K? What?
That's weird.
Americans, you spell it CURB. So,
CURB seems more sense.
so how do
Oh, that's probably because I always thought that's how we spell it. Well, that's how I spell it anyway. Bro, no wonder I failed English. I should be taking American.
Canadians spell it? I think when it comes to things like roads and road travel, Canadians probably align more with Americans, I assume. Because this is all
Right.
stuff that came later in the 19th century, when Canadian English was probably getting more influenced by American English. So I think that Canadians probably spell it CURB. Alright, perfect. Tire, a car tire or a bike tire.
TIRE.
This is what I don't understand as well. Why don't we just spell it TIRE? That also makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Than Tyre.
Bike tire. The British used to spell it the so-called American way until
Yeah, have we changed it? I feel like we have.
they
Why?
changed it. But I bet among Canadians it's spelled Tire. Amazing. I'm more knowledgeable than I thought.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, how do we spell it now? Do we spell it now with a Y or... Wait, what?
URB. Alright. Perfect. Tire, a car tire or a bike tire. The British used to spell it the so-called American way until they changed it. But I bet among Canadians it's spelled Tire.
Oh, so we used to spell it Tire, but now we spell it Tyr. Why have we done that?
Why?
Why have we actually done that?
Why?
Amazing. I'm more knowledgeable than I thought. Anesthesia in Britain.
I don't even know how to spell this word anyway, so there's no point. I don't even...
We spell it Anesthesia.
Yeah, man.
And in
I'm never just right. I'm never writing that word. I'm just gonna use put to sleep.
America,
Yeah.
they don't usually spell it that way. Canada and America have completely
my
different
nose is
healthcare
itchy.
systems.
Right.
Does that extend to the way they spell things within the healthcare field? And I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to say it's one of those where Canada goes with the British way. Really? Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah.
Canadians, I can tell you that probably numbs the
I don't know, I
pain
never
of
spelled it.
having to spell it the British way. My thanks to today's
Hey,
guest.
you know what? Very cool to see though. See the little ways how Americans and Canadians are
was
different,
his
and
itchy.
also how British people are different to them as well. We all speak the same language. Well, you guys in Canada might speak some French, and you guys in America speak every language. Apparently, very diverse over there. But you know what I'm saying. Good video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you give a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Yeah. So we do speak more than just French and English. Kiddies. There's some smorgasbord of languages spoken here. But anyways, that was another reaction to explanation. Anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.